Namaste everyone, welcome to MOBA Guru, and today we should inform ourselves on what have changed in the latest patch update, or in this case, adjustment to the patch update. Only heroes and an item have been buffed, nerfed or adjusted, and we can say overall that there are more buffs to be seen. Let's find out together what they are. The Grand Warden, Hylos, has been away from Land of Dawn for too long. With the recent buff, he should now be able to compete both as a roamer or as a jungle tank suitable in the current meta. The Ring of Punishment reduces both the movement and attack speed of his enemies. Now, the maximum stacks have been reduced to 8, but the attack speed of enemies within the second skill's range are reduced by 7.5% to 15% per stack. Leomord, known as the Oathkeeper, is now ready to guard Necrokeep again with the new buff instilled on him, making him another candidate for the jungler position in the current meta. Now, the critical damage will already take effect once enemies' HP fall below 50%, and the cooldown of Decimation Assault has been reduced and made constant at all levels to 10 seconds at normal state and 6 seconds at enhanced state. He also gains a defense buff when he casts his ult to up to 110 at maximum level. The Ashura King is famous for his immune skills and increased attack speed with full stacks. To sharpen his blades and make him a contender at the XP lane, he received the following buffs. He now has a new effect. Martis will now deal extra physical attack damage when he has full passive stacks that scales with hero level from 10 to 150. Also, his first dash from Mortal Coil can now go through thin walls, allowing him more escapability during tight positions. The Executioner is now back to haunt the EXP lane. Depending on his build, his durability has been indirectly increased thanks to the following buff from Molten. Although he is more known for being tanky at low HP thanks to his passive, his damage dealing Execution Strike has just been buffed. Now, his cooldown has been greatly reduced to 4.5 seconds at maximum level. Coupled with Bloodlust Axe and cooldown build, he will constantly regain HP thanks to more frequent hits that land. The Dino Rider. Despite his sustainability, he has been a second tier choice for his new jungler role. Now, he can better compete with other tanks thanks to his buff. The Tona Welcome now grants him more HP increase from 20 to 30%, and landing the AoE against walls or enemies have been made easier at the expense of less damage. Also, when he respawns, he would regain his maximum stacks of 25 at maximum level, allowing him to immediately take part in battles without having to stack up first during late game. Going back through time, this time traveler used to be at its prime, especially during M1. Due to the shift of meta, his success is now only history. Time for that to change. Harith's Chrono Dash now enjoys a slight buff, namely to his shield and bonus damage. Now, with more magic power, his gain shield will be more as it has been increased from 120 to 140%, making him more sustainable. Not only that, he would also hurt more as the bonus damage is increased to 100%. The Crimson Shadow's Shuriken has been sharpened. Now, there will be more room to deal damage and escape for Hayabusa thanks to the following buff. His Squad Shadow is now longer by 1 second, allowing him more time to mark his enemies or to escape after casting his ult. The real turning point though is the extra damage increase from Shadow Kill on enemies with Shadow Marks, now scaling from 45 to 85 with skill level. To compensate, the base damage has been adjusted to 140 at all levels. The Dawnbreak Soldier, Beatrix, had received a huge nerf on the last update after conquering the gold lane for many seasons, but now, Molten feels that the degrade was too harsh. Bennett, the grenade on Beatrix, has been buffed again, with the basic attack now dealing from 232 to 330% of physical attack. On to her ults, the Wesker Shotgun now gains more bonus damage by 25%, and the Nibiru Submachine Gun enjoy 10% more bonus damage, making her more reliable in dealing damage. The Panda Warrior has been spinning and turning things around in the Land of Dawn ever since the revamp towards him. Slight adjustment has been made to balance him during certain situations. Akai's Heavy Spin is an essential crowd control asset to lock down enemies or to repel an enemy engage. Now, the cooldown has been made longer to 55 seconds at all level, but with the compromise of a slight damage contribution to pick off an enemy when casting his ult. Now, the base damage increased from 200 to 450, scaling with skill level. Ever since the Scarlet Raven entered the scene, he has been getting only nerfs, and that doesn't seem to change from this adjustment thanks to the power gap when he snowballs. Overall, his enhanced skills have been nerfed. The enhanced sword's base and bonus damage have been decreased to 80 and to 12% respectively, although the lifesteal has been increased to 100%. The enhanced chain also deals less continuous damage now, with its base damage decreasing to only 60 at maximum level and gain bonus damage of only 10%. To compensate though, the non-enhanced states of sword and chain have been buffed. The sword deals up to 550 as base damage at maximum level and 80% bonus damage. On the other hand, the chain's base damage almost double at 440 at maximum level and the bonus damage double to 100%. The Bloody Beast enjoyed his fair share of fame ever since the meta shift, with many claiming him to be the perfect jungler due to his ult retry combo. Molten decided now to level the playing field. Balmond's lethal counter has been lethal indeed, especially in securing neutral objectives like buffs, turtles and lords. Molten decided to press down the damage cap further, with the true damage now dealing to only 1000 to 2000 scaling with level. With this, there will be more room for other junglers to compete on such objectives. It's about time. Paquito has been wreaking havoc in the EXP lane mainly due to his damage. Coupled with his mobility, he could rotate and pick off damage dealers with ease. The Heavenly Fist will pack less weight in his punches. The enhanced state of Jab has now less base and bonus damage, decreasing to 640 at maximum level and to only 215% respectively. His knockout strike will knock out less effective too, as the second part of his ult, Haymaker, deal only 450 base damage at maximum level and only 90% bonus. At the enhanced state, his uppercut also deal less base damage, which is 600 at maximum level. With this, he might not be able to burst his enemies down even if he were to land all of his strikes. The mysterious astrologer has not once been out of meta ever since her entrance into the Land of Dawn. Molten decided to reduce her sustainability with the following nerf. The Frost Moon shield has always been a vital part of Esmeralda, as it absorbs the shield from her enemies, and thanks to her passive, she regains her health during prolonged teamfights. Now, the base shield from a skill 1 has been decreased from 850 to 750 at maximum level, and the speed at which the enemy shield gets converted is reduced. Valentina, the prophetess of the night, still wreaks havoc in the Land of Dawn despite the many nerfs she received. The current nerf on her is not on her ult though, instead on her passive. Her ult IMU used to be the talk of the town, but her primal force gives her too much of advantage during important teamfights. Now, her lifesteal gain from damage dealt to enemies with lower EXP has been decreased to 30% only, making her more vulnerable during important teamfights. The Abyssal Witch still proved to be a menace in the Land of Dawn, especially in the early game, so Molten decided to give her the following nerf to make things fair. The Primal Darkness of Selena allow her to switch forms, and to reduce her early game dominance, the cooldown of her ult has been increased in the early game from 4.5 to 5.5 at level 1, although the cooldown then decreased accordingly to 3 seconds at maximum level. After the many heroes have been discussed, we should now find out together what sort of adjustment was made towards the items that gives an orange aura around the hero, namely the tier 3 item Cursed Helmet and its previous tier 2 item Molten Essence. Now, Molten decided to give it a slight buff so it would be easier to clear lanes for tank EXP laners, since in the late game the minions are also stronger. The extra damage to minions and creeps now scale with hero level from 210 to 350% of the 1.2% maximum HP. Hope you guys learned something new today. Thank you for indulging our content and for your support. Don't forget to follow our other socials and give our contents the thumbs up. Have a blessed day and stay tuned for more. Namaste.